This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing comics. Use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. Save you 10% at checkout. Not only on their website, but also at their eBay account. And the link to eBay can be found on their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, CarterComics.com is your one-stop shop for all comic needs. It's like 10 or 12 seconds because like every time I go to edit the video, it's like we may show up on our screens, but like we're still like the little like black icons until like our camera like pops up like 12 seconds in. It's like, God,
that's really weird.
Do better, Skype.
Skype, this is why you've won the award so many times.
The Follow Your Star or do better. What Follow Your Star one? Yeah.
Follow Star.
Yeah, it's just like we've been bitching about them for like 9 years, going on 9 years now, and yet there's no affordable, viable option.
Yeah, well, it's just like it's like what was it Churchill said about democracy? Democracy is the worst system except for all the others.
Sounds like a Yogi Berra thing.
Yeah,
fucking dude.
Churchill was known for quips like that. Yeah, very Yogi Berra-ish.
Perfect. I'm gonna go old school. I'm just gonna cold open this. This is what we're doing. This is how we open it. It's too early for me to be excited about anything, just because other than the Globetrotters, the first 8 minutes was just depressing of our conversation when we started.
Right? Yeah, I feel that. I've been up since 5. I had a nightmare, and then my cat jumped into bed and headbutted me in the face.
Oh, maybe you're talking in your sleep.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Do you have vivid memories of your nightmares and
Not
dreams
usually.
and all that shit? No.
No, usually it's just like
you want to share your dream with us? By
just,
us, I mean me and everyone else.
I mean, I can, but it's gonna bum you all out. It was just I was having a dream about a congregant unaliving themselves.
Ah, Jesus.
It's somebody I've been worried about, hoping they're okay, and then I just was like, what if their parents come back from vacation?
Yeah.
And that's it. And I was just like, yeah. So now I've spoken that into the world, so now I'm gonna have to call that person later today, make sure he's okay.
Yeah, it's just shit text.
Yeah.
Still there. It was I usually do pretty well with my dreams and shit, like remembering them and stuff. There is a you have reoccurring dreams?
I used to. It's been a long time since I had one.
I get a reoccurring dream like every so often. It's like one of the things where I think to myself, like maybe it's not so much a reoccurring dream, but like it's a dream that when I do remember it, it's kind of like right before I go to bed, and it's like more of like a recap memory before I truly fall asleep that actually happens. Because like even though it's like a reoccurring dream, it's shorter and shorter every time, which makes you think like maybe it's more just a vivid recollection of it.
Yeah,
and it's just me standing there with somebody. I don't know who she is. Sometimes her hair is blonde, sometimes it's brunette and everything, but it's completely unrelated to any relationship I'm in. But we're sitting there and we're like running through flashbacks of my life. Like it's like on a projector, but it's like a rapid fire, like, like this is what, your life has been like. And it's not, I mean, in the moment, it feels like, oh my God, this is something I went through, but like, I don't recall. I mean, it's going by so fast. I can't wake up and be like, yeah, I remember that moment actually in my life. But I mean,
you know that's what you're watching in the dream.
Yeah. Like in my dream, I know what I'm doing. Like I'm watching memories, like from my earliest recollections as a child, up and through schools, up and through adulthood, and finding somebody, getting married, having kids, them having kids, and just watching them grow up and stuff, like family holidays and all this shit. And as the story goes along, the two people, one being me and one being whoever, is slowly aging and shit like that.
Mm.
And I think that started around the same time I saw what's that movie? Raised in Arizona with
Oh, okay.
Nicolas Cage. You ever see that movie?
No, I've heard about it though.
It's a pretty good movie. If you ever get a chance, if you can find a way to watch it, I recommend watching it. It's pretty entertaining. Towards the end of it, Cage is finally laying down to go to bed, and he's recollecting some of his moments, and then he starts trying to have these memories of what life would be like with children, and it's him and his wife sitting in this trailer, old and gray, and like a door knocking, and like the kids walk in with their kids and all this other shit. I think around there is where it kind of gave me this idea of like, wow, like maybe that's where the dream comes from. And then obviously the whole idea of like, it kind of sucks being alone. It kind of sucks not having somebody. These are the memories I'm missing by not finding somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like I said, like I think now it's not so much a dream, but just a recollection of what I remember it to be. Um, but yeah, no, I do pretty good remembering my dreams. I had a dream the other night that I was taking a leak in the basement in Mom and Carl's house, just in the laundry room sink for some reason. I don't fucking know. I guess I was too lazy to go upstairs.
Yeah.
But we used to do that as kids. So
Yeah.
yeah. Side questions. Would you ever pee somewhere in a house you're not supposed to pee in just because you were a child?
No, not because I was a child. I mean, I think I was an adult when I did it because I was just like, I'm like 20 something and I've never peed in a sink before. So I did. It was my sink, I'd never,
Yeah.
I'd never do it in my mom's sink. you know?
Yeah. You know what? Established dominance, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, some people are like, you know what? I'm gonna have ice cream for breakfast, not you.
Yeah. Oh, and I've done that before too, but
Yeah, but
yeah, I just thought, I'd never done it before. It's in the bathroom. The toilet's right there. I could just
yeah.
go in the toilet, but why not? Why not?
Right? Just to
Everyone should
see,
try it once.
yeah, see what everyone's talking about.
Yeah,
See
I'd
what the
heard.
big
I'd
deal
heard
is,
people were like, "Oh, it's so convenient, and you don't waste the water from flushing." And
right?
it
The,
was
the,
weird. I didn't
I
like
think,
it.
well, I think one of the fears is too. I think it kind of depends on how deep that sink is because if you get a pretty steady flow, it's gonna like go down and like come
Yeah,
back up
right.
the other end and shit. I've never peed in a sink like that. I mean, I can respect that. Good for you, man. I've done the basement sink. Um, I mean, yeah, I've urinated in a tub before, but
Oh yeah,
not
you
not
pee in the
not
shower
not
while you're showering or whatever.
no, I've never done no, not while I was showering. Um, I don't know why. I think I was drunk.
Gotcha.
I think I was just like, why do I gotta lift up the toilet seat when this thing's open up here?
Yeah, I think I
And
have done that drunk before because like
yeah,
and it goes back to I remember when I was a kid I had to puke and
hmm
I just didn't make it to the toilet on time. I made it into the bathroom, but I couldn't get the toilet lid up in time to puke.
yeah.
And I just projectile vomited all over like the toilet, behind the toilet, the walls. And my mom was like, you should just puked in the tub. And so that stuck with me. And so like now when I was blackout drunk one time, I was like, toilet's over there, tub's right there.
Yeah, I mean it's logic. I mean I don't know if I've well that's a lot. I've been in bathrooms where the toilet isn't right next to the tub, but I think I've been to ones that more times the toilet was next to the tub.
Yeah.
I think I've never had the experience of where I was coming out both ends.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough, but I know people who have, and yeah, I guess they
Yeah.
have the I guess they have the luxury of having that experience, and
Yep.
I mean
I speaking of kid stuff and not to be really gross, but I used to sincerely believe that if you felt like you were going to come out of both ends and you
Mhm.
picked one,
Yeah.
It would only come out of the one. And so like I would say to myself, like, I'm gonna poop so I don't puke.
Yeah.
I remember that phrase going through my head.
So wait, so do you have the belief that like so like if you're going to vomit, like if you feel it's gonna come out both ends, you make a choice. Like I'm gonna vomit right now, I can hold off. I'm to shit. Like you're gonna shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you? Let me ask you. And I feel bad for anyone who's listening to this episode.
Yeah,
People
sorry
probably
about
get.
the potty talk
Yeah.
first thing in
It's
the morning on whenever you
yeah.
get this. Or
Tell you what.
afternoon.
Send us some topics to talk about so we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
When you vomit into the
Yeah.
toilet and stuff like that, how do you do it? Do you kneel towards the toilet? Do you stand over it, or like what where are you at? Like what's your positioning?
I'm usually a stand over it, and then if it goes on for long enough, then I give up and I kneel.
Okay.
But I'm usually quick. I'm like in and out.
I start out kneeling because I know what I'm about to do. And the thing is too, is like, and I don't remember so because I'm guessing the projection as you get older gets more aggressive.
Probably.
But like when I feel like I'm about to throw up, like I like oh my god, what the fuck's going on? And it's either from eating way too much, way too fast, or whatever. Like I think I throw up more, and I don't know if this is bulimia for anyone out there who knows. Tell me. I think I throw up more from eating too much, way too fast, than I do from actually being sick. Like I don't remember the last time I threw up from actually being sick, but I can recall the last few times I threw up because I overindulged in some food, just way
Yeah.
too fast. But that's because also there are points in my life where I'm way too fat and lazy, where I'm like, geez, I really just want to lay back down, but I can't lay back down until I tear through this fucking sub sandwich. So,
I hear that.
but like once I get to the toilet and everything, like I gotta fucking grab toilet paper and throw it into the fucking bowl first, because the projection is so aggressive, it splashes the fucking water out
Yeah.
and stuff. And
I'm usually not worrying about that. That's a smart move.
yeah. Well, I also like I don't know, like do you put the seat up or do you keep it down?
Oh, up.
Yeah. See, I know some people keep it down because it prevents some splashing. I think I don't
That's
want to
smart
clean the
too.
back. Yeah, I don't want to clean the backside of it. So I
Yeah.
just kind of like make a toilet paper barrier. That way,
Yeah, a
when I
little
do
landing.
vomit, yeah, exactly, it's a softer landing.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was to, well, now I'm not gonna make that reference after you just
Yeah.
talked about what you talked about, but dropping the Browns off to the Super Bowl and shit. It's softer, it's
Yeah.
cushion landing. But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think the majority of my puking as an adult has been from binge drinking.
Which
You
is,
go out, you party
respect.
too hard, and you're like, if I go to sleep, there's a chance I'm going to puke in my sleep. I'm just going to puke now, and
Yeah.
then I'm not going to puke in my sleep. That's my logic. And yeah, and I feel like I stand because that's how I feel like I get the most leverage because
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty flexible at my waist, and so I can kind of like jackknife over the
Yeah.
over the toilet and just
Nah.
use gravity to help me out.
I do the one knee kneel. I am vomiting the same way football players pray to God before a
Yeah, I
sporting
would say the
event.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, knee one down, head on the head, just put my elbow around my knee, just getting ready. Like I know it's fucking coming.
Yep.
A couple of times, yeah, throwing up from being drunk and shit. There are times where I will just go throw up because I know it'll help me sleep a lot better. Because like
Yep.
I've seen her laying, it's like I know my stomach's fucked up, and I know I gotta go to fucking bed, but I
Yep.
know I'm not gonna be able to comfortably pass out because it's not feeling right. One too many tequila shots will fucking
Yep.
do
Yep.
that.
I feel like I saved myself from a lot of hangovers as a young man, a young 20 something, by puking instead of letting my body process it naturally.
We need to have someone on to find out if that's true because I've always wondered that if vomiting really prevents that.
Yeah, well, I know the major cause of a hangover is dehydration. So
Yeah,
puking can help induce a hangover, but what I do is I'll puke and then I'll drink a bunch of water.
yeah. See, that would just make me want to throw up the water.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, shout out to the Masons
Oh yeah,
because you're smart enough to put the logo on both sides. So it's
that is
like
brilliant.
no matter which hand you're using, you're showing people who you are. What are you
Right?
freaking drinking, Joe?
I don't have anything today. I didn't get up in time to make coffee. I just had eggs.
How do you have them scrambled?
I did have them scrambled
Put
today.
fucking grape jelly on them.
Nope. Nope, I should have had grape jelly on them. I don't know.
Plain? Did you do a plain like a normal adult?
I did cheese, salt, and pepper.
Cheese. Ooh, what kind of cheese?
Yep. So I use taco blend, like a Mexican blend.
Like the shredded.
Yeah.
You see people who are out there rinsing their shredded cheese.
No.
You ever see that?
Why are they doing that?
To what the hell is it? It's like
is it to get the cornstarch off so that it melts better?
It's to get the cornstarch off so it melts better, but also it's to remove it because it's the only reason it's on there is to prevent it from sticking together. But yeah, like it's just I don't know. I just know
that
like
makes sense.
Yeah, like whenever I watch,
just buy regular cheese and shred it yourself if that's what you want.
That's what I started doing when I was like, because the thing is like, first off, like I'm fine with this. Like my shit melts, the way it's gonna melt regardless. I mean, it's in an omelet anyways.
Right.
But if I want to do it like, like, oh, I want to throw it over some eggs or, maybe some chippies and throw them in the microwave and stuff, I'll just grab a block of cheese and use this fucking hand cranking cheese grater I have that will, blow through that fucking, block of cheese in seconds.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, I like some of the food like some of the stuff I watch, like either on TikTok or Instagram, and it's like, some guy saying, meal I eat on my weight loss journey down 200 pounds. And I was like, all right, well, maybe if it worked for them, maybe it'll work for me. And half the time, when they go to put cheese on it, they measure out their cheese, and all of a sudden they cut to the next clip, and it's their cheese sitting in a bowl of water. And they're dabbing the cheese out, with a napkin. I'm like, that just looks like unappetizing.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
I'm thinking like,
if your goal was to make yourself hate food, I guess it's working.
Right? Maybe that dude lost 200 pounds by watching fucking shredded cheese floating around in fucking water, because, I mean, that's just horrifying looking.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to lose a bunch of cheese that way, too. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
It makes no fucking sense to me. And then, like, and I'm sure, like I said, maybe it does melt better. Maybe, because it takes the powder or starch, whatever the hell's on it, to prevent it from sticking together. But
anti-caking agent.
Yeah, it's just like I've eaten shredded cheese my entire life without dipping it in fucking water first, and it just tastes like fucking cheese. It's like
it melts just fine for me. I don't know. But that's what I use. I use Gordon Ramsay's scrambled egg method, where you put the eggs and you put in some butter in the pan cold, and then you high heat it. And 10 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and then when it's cooked to your liking, you throw in. He uses creme fraiche. I don't have creme fraiche hanging around. So I just throw in cheese, and it helps cool everything off real fast.
Have you tried sour cream instead of regular cheese? It's like the creme fraiche substitute.
I have. It's good. We don't usually have sour cream in the house because I'm the only one who likes it.
Have you seen how big and popular cottage cheese has become?
Yeah.
I
get it to some extent because I know it's really high protein and low fat, all that stuff, and it tastes fine. Mm-hmm. And you can, if you throw it in a blender, it feels like sour cream.
Yeah, I tried the other day. Well, not the other day. It was a couple weeks ago. I tried. I got these metal pans so I could meal prep some like breakfast. I guess it would be more like a frittata kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 eggs, like a quarter cup of egg whites, a cup of cottage cheese, and then you throw in like whatever cheese you want and veggies and stuff like that. And I was like, well, let me give it a shot. At least try one and everything. And because I've never had only egg whites before. I never had that. And I've never put cottage cheese inside eggs. So I just made like a bowl, like, just let me see what it's like on its own. You definitely, I would recommend definitely blending the cottage cheese because I think I fucking ate it right before we did a podcast. And as I'm eating it, I'm just like, and I only did like a scrambled egg kind of part of it. And I was like, you can see the bits and pieces of cottage cheese. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't too appetizing. I think like if I did the frittata way, it's like, I think the cottage cheese is like kind of covered up by the egg and the cheese and the veggies and stuff. But
yeah. And I feel like in a frittata way, it's going to look like feta, like it's supposed to be there.
Dude, feta cheese is fantastic. I don't think feta gets enough credit.
No, I agree. You ever have Bulgarian feta? It comes like in a container where it's still in like the cheese water.
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Oh man, it's delicious.
You ever see those videos where people make homemade mozzarella?
Yeah, I thought about doing that.
You would seem like the kind of person that would do that. Please do that. Make a video of it. Send it to me, and we'll put it on YouTube.
All
Because
right.
if anyone was to make their own mozzarella, it'd definitely be you.
It's true.
You seem adventurous and a fondness of cheese enough to do it.
Yeah, we made our own Indian cheese once, paneer.
What's that?
It's kind of like an Indian like the subcontinent.
I know what that is.
Yeah. I just to clarify, which India or which Indian rather, Indian.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Joe, and no disrespect out there. I don't believe Navajos were out there fucking making cheese. So I got.
Yeah, I don't think they had. I'm pretty sure they didn't have herd animals really.
I wonder, I'm gonna, you keep talking. I'm gonna look up like when did cheese actually become a thing.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So it's very similar to making mozzarella, but you don't do as much of the stretching and pulling that you do with mozzarella. You just kind of you boil your milk and add your I think it's vinegar, and it separates the milk proteins from the milk fats, and you just get the cheesy goodness and put it together as tightly as possible. Squeeze as much water out of it, liquid out of it as possible, and then it's ready to go. You just you throw it in you cut it into cubes and throw it into your Indian food. It's delicious, and it takes like half an hour. Like if you're already taking an hour to slow simmer a nice curry, why not? Why not take half an hour and just make your own cheese?
I've never had curry. Wait, that's a lie. I had curry sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings. Actually, not that bad. 1615 BCE.
Wow.
Apparently, there's cheese. I will give credit to the rest of the world. I think their cheeses are better than ours. I think Chihuahua cheese is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Feta cheese. I am interested by the cheese you're talking about. Saganaki. I can't remember. I know some places cheap out and use mozzarella, but I think it's actually like goat cheese and shit, or a certain kind of Italian-based cheese or Greek. I'm sorry, not Italian, Greek. There's another one that I really liked. It's Romano.
Oh, I love Romano.
Romano. There was one cheese, and I think it was Romano, and I can't remember 100% if it was or not. But I used to go out to a friend's house, and from time to time, like his mom was absolutely fantastic, a wonderful fucking woman. I haven't seen them since we graduated high school, maybe a year after. She actually loved me, but most parents do, and she'd always make like dinner for like all of us. Like we'd come over and like play video games or like dick around the backyard with airsoft guns and shit. And she would tell us like, "Hey, dinner's ready," and I guess usually like spaghetti. I don't think they're Italian, but I think making large quantities of spaghetti at once is just the easiest way of doing shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like everyone else would get like the grated Parmesan, but she was like, "Does anyone want to try this?" And I think parents love me because I'm always open to the idea of like, absolutely.
I'll eat even if I don't like it. I'll eat whatever you put on my plate.
Right, and
that's how I learned to be polite.
Right, and then she brought out some kind of grated cheese and she put it on there, and it had a pungent can be used in a non-negative way, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it had like a real strong pungent fucking taste to it.
Oh yeah,
and a strong pungent smell to it, and the taste was better than it smelled, but it just made the spaghetti taste different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to try to reach out to him and ask his mom what it was, because I don't think it was Romano, because I've gotten grated Romano Parmesan cheese before.
Yeah, Parmesan Reggiano or whatever.
Yeah, and I think if the smell was there, it would still be present, but it's not. So I'm gonna have to reach out to them and ask and everything. But
I don't think I've ever had a cheese I disliked.
Blue cheese.
I even like blue cheese now.
Can't do it. I hate it, and I like you a little bit less because of that. I'm not gonna lie. I love you, but I like you a little bit less because of that. Because it's mold, Joe. You're eating mold.
I know.
It's 100% mold. And And I get that all cheese is more like curdled fucking milk and all that shit anyways. I get it, but I mean, blue cheese is horrifying. My blue cheese, I think, is what stopped my father and I from loving each other for many decades. All because he made burgers once for us, and he asked if I wanted blue cheese on it, and I didn't know. I was 7. It just sounded like a cool color
Oh,
for
if I was
cheese to
7, it'd be
be.
terrible.
And
Oh God.
he put it on there, and I bit into it. And I didn't like it. I wanted a new burger, and he wasn't gonna make me a new burger. And I think that was the same day I realized Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
It was a very impactful moment of
If
my
Santa was
life.
real, he would have stopped this.
He would not allow this to happen. I think I became agnostic at that point because why would Jesus do this even though he's supposed to love the little children of the world?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think I don't know. It's just something happened where I was like, this is
Yeah,
what it is. I think
the older I get, the more I love stuff that just tastes bad. Like it's objectively bad, but something about it just does it for me now. I don't know what the deal is.
I don't think there's ever a moment that'd be a thing I'd fucking enjoy. And you
Yeah.
know what? I one of my other ideas for a YouTube video was us trying things. I guess more for me than you, not to be selfish, but I think I'm not as open minded as you are. But I want to make a video of like trying like grape like jelly on eggs. Or even ketchup on eggs, like the shit. I'm like that. Like I think honestly, it's more or less just a video of me trying ketchup on shit
Right.
because I've never
Just
eaten a hot dog with
eating
ketchup on
stuff
it.
my dad served over the years that
Yeah,
just looked gross.
yeah. It's like I've never put ketchup on eggs. I never put ketchup on hot dogs. And everyone keeps saying that it's good. It's like I'm open minded to even trying it. So
It's fine.
it
Fine.
just doesn't. I think my problem is because it's sweet and
Yeah.
hot dogs aren't supposed to be sweet and eggs aren't supposed to be sweet. I think in my mind that for me, and it's not that I think it's what I know, but it's weird because I'm okay with it when it comes to potatoes, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure why. When it comes to hash browns or French fries and shit like that, I'm okay. But when it comes to the fact that like here's an egg, and now I'm about to put this on it, it just doesn't seem like that's supposed to be there,
I
you
hear
know.
that.
And for a hot dog, I don't know. That just I don't know. It just doesn't sound accurate.
Yeah. I haven't had it on a hot dog in a really long time, but I
Mm.
have had ketchup on a hot dog and it just doesn't taste good to me. It just doesn't
Yeah.
taste good. It's fine. I'll eat it. I'm not gonna not
Yeah.
eat it if somebody serves it to me that way. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, it
Well,
just doesn't taste right.
the
And I like sweet
original.
savory.
See, I've started to like the sweet salty
Yeah.
concept. Um, but it's like it realistically like in my mind, even though it sounds gross, it doesn't. It's realistically no different than like Sweet Baby Ray's on ribs. It's sweet sauce on a meat. And so,
Yeah.
and I've had that. I've had Sweet Baby Ray's pulled pork. Same fucking
Yeah.
concept.
Delicious. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
Sweet Baby Ray's on chicken. Like, so it's like, I guess realistically, it's like, why to me does ketchup on a hot dog not sound good because of the sweet ketchup on it? And the thing, ketchup isn't really that sweet. Like, it has a sweetness to it because of the
Mm.
sugar and shit, but it's not. But in my mind, it just sounds like I'm going to bite into this, and all I'm going to think is, this is fucking ketchup on this.
Yep.
And I don't know. Like I don't. And when I like obviously like when I go to like McDonald's and shit, I'll get a burger and there's ketchup on it and shit. When I go to barbecues, I don't put anything on it. I just put the fucking meat on the bun and eat it. I'm not sitting there at the table and adding lettuce and tomato and onions and shit. But I
Right.
just want to grab and go. So it's like there's nothing in my mind that states ketchup on a hot dog does not taste good. It should not happen. But for some reason in my mind, that does not taste good. It should not be happening. Even
Yeah.
though like this whole thing, and I don't know if this is a Mandela effect thing or not, but until recently, I've seen that like the classic hot dog or whatever is ketchup and mustard.
That's what people say.
I don't win though. I've never grew up with that being a thing. Like
Yeah,
I
we
don't
did.
remember that.
We had it all the time, but the thing is like having grown up in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and eaten the shit that Hoosiers eat.
Yeah.
I do not believe that anything that people from Indiana eats should be considered the normal way to eat it. No offense if you're listening in Indiana. I have great appreciation for
They
the
know.
state and the growing up there, but
They
you know, y'all put hamburger on pizza.
They have a
Like,
shrimp farm in the middle of nowhere. I mean, come on now. They know. They know what they're fucking doing.
Y'all switched. You used to do fried cow brain sandwiches, and you switched to pig. So now you do fried pork brain sandwiches because of the mad cow disease. It's a delicacy in southern Indiana.
It's funny because well Pat, who I do JFW with, which by the way, happy belated birthday. He turned 30 on 3 days ago, so happy birthday, Pat.
Youngin.
Yeah, he finally joined the club. So
if you need help opening an IRA now that you realize you might live long enough to retire.
Yeah, no Social Security for you, bud. No Social Security for us. No, we're fucked when we get old.
A little bit.
What was it? What were we talking about? I'm too old to remember. Oh, Pat. He has a buddy who recently moved to Indiana. I think he's like more on the northern end of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's in the decrepit northwest corner. I think he's a little bit more out from that. But they always make the joke that like all that's out there is corn, and they're not wrong. I mean, it's not. You know, it's corn and crack, but it's mostly corn.
Yeah, corn and the Amish that farm it.
Yeah, there we go. God, that fucking license plate. That's still so. And that's what they do. Every time I go to Indiana, I'm like, oh yeah, this state blew out my fucking tire with an Amish license plate. Solid, but yeah, his whole joke is like corn. I'm like, dude, there's so much more than fucking corn. But then like really deep down think about it, it's like, no, there's not. Not. And you know what? And the thing is, like, I want the Midwest to have, like, I want individual states to be recognized for more things than what they are. Like Wisconsin's like known for like cheese, and that's fine. Like I just want like Illinois to be known more for non-shitty Chicago mayors.
Yeah.
Criminal Chicago mayors. Like that's what I want, you know. And I guess overall non-criminal government officials.
Yeah, we do have historically an extremely corrupt government.
We've had a lot of. I'm gonna guess that we probably had the most governors that have gone to jail. Like
I think so.
We have to. I mean, because I think there's like what 3 or 4 of them. I don't know. I'm not sure if any other state really has that, but we got to have the most like felony-ridden government officials fucking ever. Blagojevich, George Ryan. I'm sure there's so many more.
There's a Slate article from 2008. Which state is the most corrupt, Illinois or Louisiana?
Ooh, you know, Louisiana. I think Louisiana would be if they were just focused on like 30 years back in like the race, you know, the racial asshole fucking generation. I think longevity wise, it's got to be fucking Chicago. I guess.
Yeah, as of 2022, 4 of Illinois' past 10 governors went to prison. We just had what the heck's his name? Madigan, Speaker Madigan, had to resign because of a corruption scandal. Ed Burke, the Chicago alderman, has resigned because of a corruption scandal, and I think he's going to prison.
See, and there's the thing too, like real quick, Madigan, it's like people knew.
Yeah, of course
they
did.
And yet he could not get pushed out. It's like people knew, and yet he was still fucking there.
Yep.
Who was the other person you said? An alderman?
Yeah, Ed Burke from Chicago.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. Oh, he's kind of local-ish guy. But he was recently found guilty of racketeering, bribery, and extortion.
Yeah, that sounds Chicago-like.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's 80. He was probably doing it with one of the mob guys a million years ago.
Yeah, and I believe, and that, you know, and people like want to sit there and think like, oh, you gotta blame the mob. It's like, not anymore.
Nope.
Not really. Like at a certain point, you gotta find like even if you say it's the 90s, it's like it's been 30 years. Fucking move on. But the fact that the mob hasn't really been a thing in Chicago, and maybe it is, and we just don't know it. But I don't think the mob is really a thing.
I think most of them went legit, and now they're aldermen.
Yeah. It's like I'm sorry, fucking Capone went to fucking jail, 60 years ago and died of syphilis and shit. Which honestly, also died of syphilis out of prison down in Florida.
I didn't
Complete.
know that.
I didn't either. I knew I knew it, but I forgot that I knew it. Because I was intrigued by Capone when Edwin's down over here like started like doing the whole Miami Gardens thing because it's a Capone former owned building, and Miami Gardens was a place he owned down in Florida. I started kind of researching shit. He was in Alcatraz, contracted syphilis while he was in prison for tax evasion, instead of the many other criminal things he did, and slowly died with the. I think when he died, he had the mental capacity of like a 5-year-old. And I think people kept him out of the public eye because nobody wants to see this grand fucking mob boss acting like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Physical and mental health continued to deteriorate, and his syphilis worsened until his death in Florida of heart failure in 1947. He was only 48.
Yeah. See, that's another thing, too. You look at all these fucking people back in the day. Look at Dillinger. That dude died younger than we are now.
Yep.
And that dude lived a fucking life, and I think he was dead by 28 or some shit. But, man, that dude's fucking Robin Banks went to
31,
fucking jail.
yeah.
31, yeah. Fucking that dude lived a fucking life. He lived to the point where somebody shot him in the back of the fucking head.
Yep.
Look at
it was a lot easier to get away with things back then, though.
Yeah, but it was cool too.
We didn't have the surveillance state we live in now, where everybody has a security camera that they share with the cops.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking weird. And I played that TARP, the GTA 5 thing online.
Yeah.
And for the hell of it, I wanted to try robbing a gas station because I was getting a little bit bored of not doing exciting shit in there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if anyone who is in TARP is listening to this and everything, nothing against TARP. I think it's a really cool thing. The fucking groups are so tight knit and everything like it. It's like
having trouble getting into to click.
I'm having trouble fucking meeting people and talking to people because like I go up and I say hi to somebody and they're like, oh hey, and then they walk away. It's like I mean the whole point of the TARP thing I think is for community and shit.
Yeah.
And I accidentally came upon actually one of the Twitch streamers and shit. And I was talking to him. I pulled up to him on the highway because he was broken down working on his car. And I was asking if he needed any help and everything. And we were talking for a little bit. And he was asking me, like, hey, are you into, selling candy? Because obviously, so during streams and stuff, you can't do certain things else you get kicked out. And one of the things you can't talk about drugs. So in TARP, they refer to drugs as candy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, I'm just trying to, live the straight and narrow. I had this whole backstory from me moving here from the Midwest because the city's based out in California, which makes total sense because to fill up my motorcycle it takes $360. But I was like, no, I just moved out here from the Midwest. I'm trying to live a straight life and everything, and this and everything, blah blah. And when I left, I was like, see, that's the interactions I want. And then once I realized it was one of the Twitch streamers, I was like, oh, that makes sense. It was content for him. But like other people, it's just like, I walk up to people, I bump into somebody, I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? My name's, Waylon Walker. If I go by Walker, it's a Midwest thing and shit. And they're like, oh, hey, and then they fucking walk away. Like they had this 4th of July party thing at one of these areas. So I was like, oh, I'll just go there. And if you dress up in, red, white, and blue, you get like free booze or whatever. So I went to the fucking store, got red, white, and blue clothing, jumped in my car, drove out there, got there, I walked up, and like everyone's talking and socializing and everything. So I just walk up to a group here. I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? They're like, oh, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, not much. And they're like, oh, that's cool. And then they fucking walk away. So I literally sat there for about 10 minutes. Nobody's talking. Nobody's, interacting and stuff. And no one's giving my free booze. I'm like, well, I guess this, even though this was a party for everybody, a party to welcome everyone to come over to, the Yellow Jacket and have this fun about it. But I was like, it was just a group of like 9 people who knew each other. And it's like, I don't know, this is fucking boring. So I left. I was like, okay, it's, it's cool. So I don't fucking know. They have a dating app on there, and I'm just as successful on that as I am in real life. So The game's becoming reality for me because all I do is I go in, do some work, and go home. That's about it. So it's just like,
Dang.
yeah. So but I did try to rob a gas station once. So I was like, I'll try to do something exciting. So I went in, I tried doing the lockpick thing, and tried to do the little mini game that requires it, and I did it once and it's successful. I'm like, ooh, what a fucking rush. Um, so I was like, I'll go try it again. And I tried it, it didn't work. I tried it, it didn't work. I was like, hey, fuck it. So I go to run out, and there's already a cop sitting outside. And they're like, whoa, where you running off to? I'm like, oh, I gotta get to work. I'm late. And they're like, well, we just got a call saying that the silent alarm went off in here. I'm like, well, that's weird. I was the only one in there, and I was just buying a pack of smokes. And they're like, well, do you mind if we detain you? And I'm cooperative. I'm like, absolutely. Because in my mind, I'm like, if I'm caught, I'm caught, but I'm not admitting anything. I was like, I don't know what's
Right.
going on. I just walked in. I would go buy a pack of cigarettes. It wasn't working for me. So I was like, I got to get to work. So, I'm rushing to get across the street to get to the garage so I could go. And they took my gun off me. They put me in the back of a cop car. There's these other two guys who started like, I was like, hey, what are you arresting him for? What are you arresting him for? And I'm like, sure. The one time people actually want to communicate with me, I'm being arrested, dicks. So the cops go inside to check the cameras, and the guy's outside with me. He's like, dude, why don't you jump in my car? I'm like, well, you didn't give me a signal or something, man, but it's fine. We'll just, we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. I know I'm innocent. We're good. We're good. Even though in my head, I'm like, crap, I'm going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
They came out and they said, well, sir, it looks like the cameras weren't working, so we can't really verify what's going in and everything. So you got lucky. And I was like, whoa, hold on a second, sir. What do you mean I got lucky?
Right.
It's like, well, because if the cameras would have popped up, what we would have saw. I'm like, I thought the whole point of our legal system is to be innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to tell me I'm guilty until you can verify I'm innocent. And like, well, no, it's like, I get it. I understand how this works now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So he lets me out of the car. He handcuffs me, tells me I have a great day. I'm like, I'll have a better day if you can return my firearm to me because I can legally possess that because I'm
Right.
not a criminal as you are claiming for me to be and shit. And about half hour later, I get mugged. So that sucked. So the interactions I've had was either luckily getting out of being arrested and being robbed. I did drive around for about half an hour with a couple gang members, which was pretty cool. But all we did is just drive around and shit. And they gave me some money and apple pies and stuff, which was pretty cool. But I want to try to find people that I can actually, I guess I wish there was more to the city than just like if you're not a criminal or if you don't work for a government like a cop or SADOT or shit that like if you don't have friends in the thing, it's kind of boring.
Gotcha.
Because it's like there's not really anything to do. It's like I don't want to be a criminal.
Right.
I want to do more shit, but I don't want to. That's why I tried to apply to be the SADOT, and I guess my application wasn't created enough. And I'm like, it's fine, it's whatever. I get it. I could have done a lot better, and I will next time. I don't want to go in and be a criminal. I don't want to be a felon and shit. I kind of want to do shit the right way. And so far, so good. I've accumulated $600,000, which my goal is to get up to $1 million, and maybe get a house or something one day, and try to find somebody and establish a relationship and all this other shit. But yeah, it's just I know a guy from work. He said that he's gonna look into it, so he may join. So I don't think he will, but if he does, he does. He does. He doesn't. But I definitely need to find some way to get with a group of people who are just there to just enjoy the game and not be a criminal because I don't want to be a criminal. I don't want to. I kind of want to be a criminal, but I know I wouldn't be a
Right.
good.
Yeah.
I just want to be a good criminal. So yeah. Yeah, but anyways, I don't know. It's corrupt. It's that's
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah. That's
How
just
do we get here?
yeah. It's just a fact of life. Blagojevich and George Ryan and
Yeah.
fucking
We got like
Beetlejuice.
good food in Chicago. I was gonna say good sports, but like we don't have good sports. The Blackhawks are good.
No,
Our
no,
hockey's been fine for like a decade, but
our hockey has sucked. Our hockey is not good.
does it really? Did it get bad again?
It got bad, man. Yeah.
Oh man.
The Bulls are bad. The only team that seems promising is the Bears, and that's only because of the hope that the quarterback that we drafted is what they
Any
stated
good.
it to be. But You know, they had the same belief on Trubisky. They had the same belief on Fields, and now they're putting that belief into this guy. And realistically, like, I think on paper we have a dominant football team, but it's what they do on the field that really determines what's going on. No, our sport teams suck, and the reason our sports teams suck, the reason the Bulls aren't as great, and the reason the Sox aren't great, is because they have an owner that doesn't want to fucking spend the money. He just doesn't. I mean, you look at, you know, the fact that right now, if you look at it, we have a White Sox team that played over 80 games, and they have lost 75% of them. God. Because they don't want to spend the fucking money. And when they do spend the money, they spend it on the wrong people.
Right.
And a lot of people believe that Reindorf is doing this to sell the team to like Nashville or some shit like that, which is a possibility. The only thing that
should be illegal.
It's stupid. Well, see, and that's the thing too, is I forgot where it was. I don't know if we talked about it on here, but football, like in England and shit like that.
Yeah.
They have a rule or a policy or whatever that if you're so bad for so long, you get kicked out of the organization. You get kicked out of so if the Sox were so shitty for so long because the team's not willing to spend the money to be good, they'd be kicked out of the MLB. They just be out there shit. So like they'll still play games, but they can't qualify for like the World Series and all that shit until they got better again. But the thing is, like, you know, Reindorf is talking about like, oh, we need a new stadium. It's like, no, you don't. You need fucking players.
Right.
You need to justify building a new stadium. You know,
the right team can win on a children's ball diamond.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And the fact is, like the Bears want a new stadium, the Sox want a new field, and the fact that both of these wants Illinois to fucking pay for a chunk of it, which when I say Illinois, I mean the people on this fucking podcast and everyone else is like, it's like okay, cool. So these stupid little what the hell they call it, activity taxes or sporting taxes or whatever the fuck they are gonna fucking jump up in price now. So we're gonna pay more to build stadiums for teams that I don't want to go see because they're not fucking good.
Right.
I've never been.
So I can pay more for a ticket because you're going to charge me more for a ticket because the stadium's nice and new.
Yeah. Yeah. And
like
well, their concepts are awesome. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the concept videos for the stadiums and shit.
Yeah, they look cool.
They're so fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay for it.
Right. There's a certain amount of I am fine paying for it with my ticketed price.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're going to justify the price of a ticket with a new stadium, that makes sense to me. But if you're going to, you know, build half the stadium or more off of my taxes, I think that Illinoisans should get a discount on our tickets or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you know, if half the stadium's paid with our taxes, then for the next 10 years we should get half off on our tickets.
Yeah, there's no way they could not afford to build it with the money that they make. I mean, for God's sakes, you could go out. Like I don't know. Do you buy beer? Do you get beer brought to you? Like, do you purchase beer and bring it to your house?
From time to time.
Yeah. What do you buy? What's like a case of beer you would buy?
Almost any of them. Probably the ones I'll buy like Lagunitas.
Think generic. Think basic. Think basic.
Oh sure. So I'll buy Bud Light.
Bud Light, okay. So a case of Bud Light, what is it now? I haven't bought a case of Bud Light in a while, but it's like what, around $23, $24?
Yeah, $23, $24.
Okay,
right.
So you're talking about a can, and what are cans? 8 ounces, 12 ounces, whatever.
12 usually.
12 ounces, so $1 a piece, right?
Yeah, right.
So you're looking at
or $2 a piece.
$2 a piece. Okay.
Well, so no, hold on. Sorry. 24 pack. Yeah, you're right. 24 pack, about $1 a piece.
$1 a piece. You buy a 16-ounce beer at fucking any sporting event, it's $13-14 fucking dollars.
Right.
And you're telling me
it's gone up that much? Last time I did it was like 7, and it was still too much.
Yeah. No, it's like a 16-ounce can, a 16-ounce like draft, fucking Miller Lite or old style, whatever. It's like $12-13 fucking dollars. And like you're telling me you're not making money at these fucking places based on that, like that alone. I mean, I get that the Sox suck so bad. You could go now. If you want to, you could go to Sox Park right now. Once we're done here, go to the fucking ticket booth and say, yes, I'd like 500 level seat tickets, and you're gonna get them for like $3 or $5. That's how fucking bad they are.
Jeez,
it sucks. So yeah, no, I would love to go to a fucking Sox game, and I'd love to go root for the Sox, but they're not fucking good. They're just
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah,
But
I hear that.
Joe, what are we freaking thinking about though? Other
I don't
than
think
all
about
this,
baseball.
right?
I wish baseball was better here in the
I
city.
did too.
And I love. I mean, I like them both. I know that's like cliche or whatever, but like I like the Cubs. I like the Sox. I like any team from Chicago.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Probably. So we for the 4th of July we went down to my wife's family's house over in Elkhart, Indiana, and because her grandparents used to do like a big 4th of July party every year.
Yeah.
This year they decided not to do it, but we still had a nice time at her mom's house. And then we went over to this is what I'm actually geeking on. Freaking thinking about. I didn't mean to do that. That was bad slip.
Yeah. What are you freaking geeking on?
Yeah. So we at the end of the day yesterday, we're getting ready to come back. We went to the Wellfield Botanical Garden in Elkhart, Indiana.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. They have a great it's a really nice botanical garden. I don't know if you've ever been to a botanical garden, but it's kind of like a park you can't play in.
Mostly, I'm guessing flowers, plants, stuff.
Mostly
like that.
flowers, plants. It's just nice. It's nice to walk around it. What really makes it special is her grandparents have been volunteers there for like 50 years.
Oh,
And
nice.
so her grandpa was giving us the tour. And like
Gotcha.
this is the story of why this garden looks this way, and this is why they chose these plants over these plants, and all that kind of stuff. It was really interesting, and it was just a really nice time. It is a beautiful place to just walk around and enjoy nature in a really controlled way. They're also they're building a new facility there that can be used for like concerts, weddings,
That's
parties. Awesome. And it looks fantastic. It should be done sometime next spring, maybe next summer. And it's going to be just an awesome place to they'll have like music events and stuff. It's just going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. It reminded me that I need to go take advantage of through my wife's job. She gets a membership to the Chicago Botanical Gardens, which is like it's just north of me on 94.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's not really in Chicago.
No, it's in like
gotcha.
Wilmette.
Gotcha.
That's
nice though.
I don't know. I try not to be annoyed with it, but there's a part of me that's really annoyed with it. You can get there on the train if you want. So I guess if that's how you quantify Chicago, like if from Naperville, because the train can get there.
Dude, people say 9 miles north of me is Chicago, and I'm an hour out of the city. It's nutty. Could you take your bike there?
I could. Matter of fact, when I crashed into the guy who crashed into me, he was on his way to the Botanical Gardens.
Gotcha. Well, maybe you can beat him up there. Be like, hey, anniversary.
Yeah, hey, Dick, why did you take me to court?
Fucking monsters.
Yeah, but anyway, Botanical Gardens, just the concept is fun, and it's getting out into nature, even if it's artificial nature. It's really nice. So, nice. What about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
So I did that sleep test and everything a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
So I do have mild sleep apnea, which I'm not surprised by. I kind of knew. Got the test results back and they verified I do need a CPAP machine. I got the call yesterday from the company that I got to get the machine from. And my insurance is covering 80% of the machine, which sounds fucking awesome. So when I go and pick it up, I got to pay the remaining, which is like $44, which isn't
that's
too
not
bad.
I was worried that it was going to be like 2,000 or something.
But the dumb thing about this is the way they described it. And I'm probably gonna ask him because I need to know. I need people to verify because it almost sounds like that whole forbearance program thing all fucking over again, where it's like my insurance covers 80%, so I owe $44, but there's a monthly payment of $11 on it for like the next 12 months, which basically is like it's the total price of the machine that's paid monthly. And I'm sitting like, okay, well, you're telling me the insurance cover 80% of it, but I'm paying $11 a month for the next year on the machine. Like, what am I exactly like paying for? Like, I don't quite understand that part of it. Right. The other thing is they say for the next 90 days, I have to utilize it 70% of the time. And they say basically I have to wear it for at least 4 hours a night. So I'm not quite sure what, because I was asking, I was like, okay, well, in the next 90 days, it's doable. I can fucking do it. I don't have any anticipations of going somewhere and sleeping like anywhere other than my house, except for obviously our trip. But I think our trip's outside that 90 days. July, August,
Yeah.
September. No, it's not. Actually, it's within 90 days. But like there's friends like, oh no, it's like, just as long as you utilize it within 70% of within that 90 days, and so because if you don't, then you owe them for the entire price of the machine.
Right.
And it's like, oh, so fun goose. So I have to make sure like I'm getting more than 4 hours of sleep a night, and I gotta make sure I'm using it, and blah blah. And apparently it's attached to some app, and she sent me the name of it, or she told me the name of it. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I looked it up, and it looks like a fucking alarm clock. Like there's no tubes attached to it. Like I don't know. I mean, I every image I looked at, it just showed me the box. It didn't show me the actual tube and attachment it's on.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be wearing while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
But
Well, that
I'm
does
gonna,
sound like an alarm clock. That's weird.
yeah. So I'm gonna figure it all out. I got my appointment with them on Tuesday, so I'm gonna go and get a sleep app machine and start working towards this whole better sleep. Hopefully, and I got to schedule an appointment with my doctor within the next 30 to 90 days of using it. And I'm hoping, after I use the machine, I'll schedule an appointment for 30 days in, follow up with him, and then maybe say, cool, now let's talk about getting my fucking numbers up. Let's get that testosterone number up. Because I know this is the first step in it, but I need the other fucking steps. I just need to know where we're going from here. So, so finally I'm going to have a sleep app machine. We'll see how that works and see if maybe it helps me wake up in the morning stuff. Because like I said, when we record these at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. on Saturdays, I set my alarm for 7 o'clock. I fucking snoozed that bitch until 7:45 because I was just too damn exhausted to get up.
Right.
So we'll see. Yeah. So for anyone out there, sleep apnea is no joke. It is the silent killer. Go out there and get checked.
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Yeah. People do die in their sleep because you stop breathing. So
Right.
it's So I don't know if it's I've been lucky or maybe I don't have the extreme situation where it could cause it. Alan has sleep apnea, so I'm gonna talk with him about some of this shit. But yeah, if you have a significant other, I do not, so I don't know what my sleep is like. I know my last previous girlfriends who slept over say I snore pretty heavy, but they say I stop just by touching my arm, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, if your significant other tells you like, yeah, you have a hard time snoring and shit like that, or it's kind of rough, or you kind of choke in the middle of the night, go get checked. Go do it. Your insurance should cover it. So I would recommend.
Yeah, and I did the math just for fun, and yeah, you're paying like your $44 copay is like 25% of the total cost.
Yeah,
at the $11 a month or whatever.
Yeah,
with the $11 a month.
Yeah, it's insane. It's fucking insane. So, hey Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin Show. But if an hour of Cartoon Joe just isn't enough every week, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Nice. Guys, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freakin Show. You can listen to us wherever you pick up your podcasting at. Make sure you subscribe and rate us and everything, whether it be iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, wherever. Go ahead and subscribe to us. If you want to watch these episodes, you can go to Freaknet Studios on YouTube. Subscribe over there. Check out our podcast. Watch us as we talk to each other, or go check out the cemetery vlogs because we have another series coming up. And why not catch up on Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana right before we hit Michigan? I did get a comment recently from somebody who recommended who said there's 9 haunted cemeteries in Iowa we should check out.
Oh, nice.
So I did reach out to them and say, send us the list. We'll look into it. And then who knows, maybe Iowa would be next year's trip. We don't know.
Yeah.
Iowa, it's either Iowa or Ohio. That's next year. So we'll see. Yeah. So if you guys got recommendations, send them our way. We're going to Michigan this year. If there's anything you think we should check up on the way, let us know.
I did learn we need to, this is unrelated to any haunted things. But I found out we got to try, if we can find it, a QP restaurant. KEWPIE. Apparently they have the cheeseburger that inspired the Wendy's cheeseburger.
Okay. That's in Michigan?
Yep.
Cool. Send me a text.
There's nine stores left there.
Send me a text and I'll look up the location and see if we're near any of them. We might
Yeah.
be. If they're on the southern side of Michigan, we'll probably cross.
I believe
one.
they are.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow us on social media. Follow us on. Definitely subscribe to us on YouTube. 100% do that. Freaknet Studios, guys. That's all I got. As always, I am Travesty,
and I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin Show. I'm out.